What's good, bro? How you doing?
Fantastic, brother. How are you?
Doing good, bro. Doing good.
Let's go. Frame Theory.
Episode 4, baby.
Quattro. But I think this one's a super cool episode because, as you can tell, we got a long table and we have a third chair. So we have our first special guest ever on Frame Theory, and that's going to be Mr. Ahmad Maadi.
Everybody give it up.
Thank you. How are you, bro? Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so first ever guest. Super cool opportunity. Super excited for something like this. Me and AK have talked about bringing somebody on literally since like the first episode. So like having an opportunity to do it, and I think someone that's like gonna have like a lot of sauce to give the audience, you know? like a lot of wisdom, I guess.
Overhyping me, yeah.
It's like it's I don't know, super exciting. So like yeah, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself, bro. Like
yeah.
Talk what you're about, what you do.
Let's do it. My name is Ahmad Maadi. I own a business called Crepe Brulee. I'm born and raised in New Mexico. Went to UNM, graduated. I don't know where to start. I'm a businessman, entrepreneur. I do social media. I do anything that could help our lives and basically our business. Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. How'd you first decide you wanted to own a business, and how did you know it was going to be crepe?
Oh man.
Yeah, crepes is like a wild pool, man.
It's random.
No one
random.
does that in New Mexico.
It's extremely random, honestly. So when I was a kid, I've always knew I was going to be in business. Like I always knew it.
Yeah.
And I'll even give you a little story. So I'm born here, right? I moved to Palestine when I was a kid, and when I lived there, we didn't have like American candy and stuff, right? So every time I would get American candy, if like people visiting from America and visiting us, we would bring some by. I would sell it to my friends and cousins, and then every time my mom would give me like allowance to go eat at school, she'd give me like 10 shekels. 10 shekels is equivalent to like $3.
Cool.
So I would take the 10 shekels. I wouldn't eat. I would literally wait till I got home, and then I would eat at home. So I'd save the money. And then every time I got to equivalent of about 350 shekels, which was about $100, I would give my mom the shekels. She'd give me a $100 bill. I'd go and put it away in my drawer. I did that for the 4-ish years I lived there. By the time I was like 11 years old, I had like $4 to my name.
Jeez,
I was saving money before I knew what I was saving for.
Yeah.
So the fact of me being a businessman or just like anything in the entrepreneur category, I low-key kind of knew like as a kid. Like one way or another, I was financially literate.
Yeah.
Like one way or another. So.
Bro, it was instilled in you. Oh my gosh.
And that's crazy too, because like financial literacy for me has not been instilled into me until like literally like very recently.
You're not alone.
Bro, like, when I was like 11, I was stealing suckers from GameStop. Like, I wasn't saving money.
No, it's so true.
No, bro. At 11, bro, I was shooting Nerf guns and not even caring.
Yeah, Nerf.
And I was still doing that stuff, but like
you just knew that
his
was
piggy
more,
bank was
bro.
growing.
Yeah, I knew money at an early age. I knew money was important.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I wanted it for. Usually people wait until they get a goal, right? Like I want a certain car, or I want a certain like look, or usually it's itemized first, and then it's how do I get the money for that item. I started the opposite. I knew one way or another money was going to be the main root of everything you would want to do in life. And I didn't know what I wanted to do with it yet, though. I just knew whatever it was going to be, you need money.
Yeah.
So I knew that at a young age, and it allowed me to start doing habits earlier. So when I actually became like, not adult, even like teenager years, when you actually start working and you start getting an idea, that's when I started implementing what I already kind of started as a kid, but now with an actual income. And then the more the income came in, the more you have to work with. And you learn, I messed up a couple times here and there. Got a little too eager, everyone wants to get rich quick and stuff like that. When you're young, you just want everything now. So it was ups and downs for sure, but I was at least blessed enough to maybe see things at an earlier age than most people usually see it at.
No, that's amazing, bro. That's amazing.
So then where does like the idea of crepes like really stem from, or like what, I don't know, I guess like caught your interest with crepes? Because like I never had a crepe in my life until I went to Crepe Brulee.
So I went to Crepe Brulee. Yeah. So crepes is honestly, even like there was never a moment I knew I was going to be into food leading up to the idea. I think the biggest trigger was probably, so when I graduated from UNM, I graduated in 2020. So not a lot of people know this. I have 2 degrees.
Nice.
I have a political science degree and a sociology degree.
Cool.
I have a bachelor's in both. I was going to be a lawyer. So when I graduated college, I basically had to pick. Like time was up, right? Am I gonna do more school? Am I gonna do the business route? Now, there's a lot of factors that went into the decision to do crepes. Some of those factors was the need to pick after graduation. The other big factor was I kind of didn't like school. Like I was a 4.0 student. I did good in it. So I don't say that because you probably suck. So you probably don't like it. Like, no, I was actually good. I tried in everything I was in, forcibly or not, I tried, right?
Yeah.
So I did that a lot. So I was a 4.0 student. I just didn't want to do more school. And then the third biggest thing was I was in jewelry my whole life, like all throughout high school, 13 years old, throughout maybe like 20 years old, I was always working in jewelry. So I was just like business savvy. I understood like just the outline of things. There's a product at a price sold at another price. And the difference between those is what we call profit. Like, you know what I mean? So I kind of did that. I understood the business side of things. I was a personal trainer for a couple years, is where I kind of like was meeting you at Shoes back in the day and all that. And that's what got me into cooking. So I realized I loved cooking, and I grew up not really knowing what I liked. Like I did everything. I played sports. I could be the guy to like sit at home and play board games all night, or go out and have fun and be more social. I kind of didn't mind. I was all over the place, you know. But I never like truly knew what I liked. And when I started cooking for health reasons, I realized, damn, I actually like cooking. Like to the point where I've even like, you know, made a joke or entertained the idea of just going to like Europe, working for a Michelin star restaurant for free with whatever savings I have, and hopefully I get good enough to where they decide to pay me. And hopefully the timing is like before I run out of money. And I've even joked around and said stuff like that. So all these factors combined, and the love for cooking, and the need to pick, and just my business savvy background, all what contributed to Crepe Brulee. So it's unique. We don't have anything like it. It's different. It's a product that you don't see around. Either you don't know what a crepe is, so all of it's unique, kind of like your experience, or you do know what crepes are, but we serve it so differently that it's even unique to you as well. So all of these kind of came in and contributed to like, you know what, let's do it. This I think hits all the check boxes as far as like if it's a good business idea or not. So that's kind of like a long story short summary of what ended up being Crepe Brulee. Very
That's
random,
amazing, bro.
Yeah, it's very random.
We gotta get you one.
Yeah.
We gotta get you a little.
I know. I haven't had a crepe, so.
It's really cool. We basically just roll the crepes into ice cream cone shapes. So it's like a thin pancake is what a crepe is. And then we just put stuff in the middle, roll it into a cone, put more stuff on top.
Bro, it's so good, bro.
Yeah, you got ice cream and all that.
I'm not even glazing right now, bro. It's like it is like it's really.
It's
good,
really
bro.
fire. You could build your own. You could do something simple like strawberry banana Nutella.
Oh, that's exciting,
or you could
bro.
make it much more complicated than that. You know? So it's pretty cool. It's a nice little dessert shop.
You got Fruity Pebbles?
We got Fruity Pebbles. We always got Fruity Pebbles.
Pebbles.
We got Fruity Pebbles. Yeah, we have a Flintstones
Pebbles,
crepe is
bro.
what we call it, and it comes with vanilla ice cream. There's like blueberries, Fruity Pebbles in there. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but yeah, it's really cool. We gotta get you to come by, bro.
Oh, bro, absolutely. I would love
I hope
to,
you like
bro.
to.
I would love to, bro.
I think it's cool because it's like I feel like I can speak for myself. I feel like maybe you as well. I would assume so. It's like there's a great period in my life where like I didn't really know what I liked, and so like I would try everything as well. So it's like and it wasn't until like I dropped out of school because I wanted to make videos, and so and that was at UNM, not high school, but like because I wanted to make videos, and I was making videos with my friends, and then like we all kind of stopped doing it, but like dude, like I just like was always drawn to it. So like everything I do now like literally revolves around a camera. And not to say that like I don't experience things because like a camera needs to be there, but like dude, I want to experience everything with my camera because it's like you can tell a story, you can inspire people through it. So it's like I feel like it's also similar with like business. Somebody hears your story about like, you know, you saving money growing up, or you know, just being financially literate from a young age. Like dude, that could inspire somebody to pursue something that they've always been passionate about.
And that's the beautiful part too, is I've never heard someone's journey at 11 years old of them being like so financially responsible. Like that's amazing, bro.
I got really lucky.
You don't see that.
Yeah, no, it's true. You don't see it too often. I don't know what I was doing. Sometimes I reminisce on those days because I remember like literally putting the money away, right? And then getting to my first 1,000. This is before I even had an opinion on what was a lot of money or what wasn't. I didn't, you know what I mean? I just for some reason understood it was important. You know, I didn't know what for yet, I didn't have it in my head of like what I was gonna spend it on. I just knew that like we need money one way or another. I don't even know why. I wish I could remember. I'm sure something was. There might be a mix of factors. Like I played like car games. I've always liked cars, so maybe it was just seeing like luxury cars, and I've been blessed enough to travel to places, so maybe it was just like subconsciously I knew to drive that car, to go to these places, to rent out that hotel, or you know what I mean? There's levels to this thing we call life, and I think just being exposed to small percentages of that at a younger age gave me an idea of like, okay, I think the decision-making factor here usually comes down to money.
That makes sense, bro.
I just got lucky enough to kind of install some of the habits and routines that everyone should have, but not everyone has, especially at that age.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. That's really cool.
Yeah, like, very different.
So I would say, being a business owner, how have you seen it kind of form you into the person you are today? Like, not necessarily molded you into who you are today, but like, aside from being a business owner, just your everyday who you are, how has that kind of molded itself into your life?
Yeah, I would say probably the one biggest thing is patience, straight up. Just patient. I'm always impatient. And before the business, I was much more impatient. After I opened up Crate Brulee, I was forced into positions that you can't do anything about. There's some things that are just out of your control. And when you're in those positions, you learn patience one way or another because you're forced into it. But going through those type of experiences more often makes each one that's going to come easier to go through. So one time you had it could be something as simple as just like waiting on permits from the city. It could be delaying of construction. It could be payroll, or just like your team in general, your staff, and you're trying to train people. Everyone working with different personalities. It's just like a lot of factors, and not all of them are under your control. So sometimes you might have an opinion of what should be, how it should be, and when you want it to be. And not all the time is it going to be how you should be, what you want it to be, and when you want it to be.
Yeah.
And when you go through those, I think you get much more patient. And I think that's probably one of the bigger things I think that the business has affected me. Just some things you just gotta let it play out.
Yep.
It's not the time you want. You might be frustrated, but don't let the frustration make it become or escalate into something even worse, right? And I did that in the beginning. So now I'm a little bit more like free, like it's okay.
Isn't it kind of funny how it just like always somehow works out or like makes sense in the end?
Yeah.
I feel like being like a business owner, it's just like so much, and you have to really have the patience, like you're saying.
Right.
But it's also like, if it came down to everything that you envisioned it to be, where's kind of the fun in that? Too?
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're already predicting what your future is going to be, and there's no harm in that. That's what we strive to be. But like, I think what makes it exciting is the unpredictability and the journey to get there. You know what I mean? Because like I said, if it happens exactly how you want it to, you already know where you're going.
Yeah.
It's the battle of, okay, this is where I know I'm going to go, but how am I going to get there? And I think that's the exciting part. For me personally, that's kind of what keeps me going, and just continuing watch it play out, and things just make sense in the end. And
have you always thought that way? Like, have you gone into some of your hardships with that as your perspective going in, or you learned that?
Learned that.
Okay. Cool.
Learned that. I learned that through like my faith, though. Like,
okay.
I definitely learned that through my faith and like my prayer.
Nice.
And just like, that whole journey kind of molded me into having such patience.
Nice.
Things making sense in the way that they do. And yeah, man, that's kind of where everything kind of comes from for me.
Yeah.
It all stems through my faith, and just letting it kind of carry down from there, because that's like we've talked about. That's what keeps me grounded. That's what keeps me patient. That's what keeps me going.
That's a cool factor to have.
And if like everything went according to plan, like realistically, you're not going to become the person that you need to become to like succeed. And I think a quote I heard recently was like, like you stress a lot for somebody who figures it out every single time. And that's,
that's
like,
a good one. Yeah.
That's like one thing I like kind of like live by now. It's like, all right, like I'm stressed, but like, is it gonna get figured out? Yeah. And it's like, that's what I used to do in school too. It's like, I'd worry about a test, and like, I had good grades growing up, so like, I'd freak out about like studying or homework, but then I'm like, I'd find comfort in the fact that like, I know like, I'm gonna be good at the end of the day because like, I get it figured out. Right. So it's like, understand, there's gonna be things outside your control, but also understand that like, if there's two things in this life that you can control, it's your attitude and your effort. Right. So if you keep a good level of your attitude and your effort, then like, realistically, like, what's gonna stop you? I mean,
that's I like understand you guys when you say that. It's just in the moment. I think that's the hard part. You know what I mean? I think in the moment, it's like remembering that.
Oh yeah.
It's like, because in that moment, you're like, depending on the situation, right? How bad or whatever you're trying to get through. Sometimes, you'll be like, well, why me, or why this, or all these, doubting questions, or just questions in general. And it's in those moments is the most important to think the way you guys just explained, and it's also the hardest to do that. But I think what you mentioned, a very good point, is that you've been there before. So what's the difference? You're someone who's already proved that you can get over it, and you always figure it out. So this is just one of those. It's just one of those.
And honestly, like another thing that helps me too, we've talked about it on one of our other episodes, is like just expressing gratitude. Like literally, like when I'm driving, like someone will like cut me off, or like I'll hit like every red light, and like I have to sit there and tell myself like, all right, like you're only frustrated because you have a vehicle to drive. And so then the other day, I redid our whole front yard. We have gravel everywhere now, and we have different colored gravel. Our dog ran through it, mixed a bunch of the gravel, and it's like very small pieces. So I'm there like hand picking all of them out so that it's not like mixed matched. And like in my head, I was like I was upset at our dog for doing it, but I was like, I'm mad that I have a yard. Like I'm mad because I have a yard that I get to work on.
That's true.
At my house that I get to stay at.
It's a privilege to have that problem.
So it's like, if you really can just start like working at like reshaping the way you think about things in certain scenarios, like, I mean, I think you'll like be at a point where you just like kind of like unbreakable, you're unstoppable. But like things are hard in the moment. Like I say this and like I still get frustrated. I still get upset like over things that like don't matter sometimes.
I think it's important that you mentioned that though, that you still like in the moment it's harder. But I think where some people like maybe don't take advice correctly is they think of it as a magic trick solution. But I think it's important to realize that while we say those things, it's something that just because we say it and understand it because of our experiences or positions in our life, it doesn't mean that we still don't struggle with maintaining that consistently across every problem, every situation of every age, with every factor involved. So I think when some people who might hear advice and find themselves in a situation and then it doesn't work out the way the advice is supposed to help, you know what I mean? And they're like, and they just kind of go back to square one where they dump everything. I think there's a good distinction there to like keep in mind that this is something that is achieved through work and consistency. Not something you hear once and you understand because you understand English, but to understand. You know what I mean? And then actually put that into your life in a routine and a habit form to where you've done enough, like time frame has gone by, enough time has gone by of you applying those different habits and routines. I think that is a very good like distinction into like really believing this type of advice rather than just thinking of it as a solution. Like, all you gotta do is this, and then all of a sudden problems don't. Like you're still gonna be mad, you're still gonna go through this. But it's a perspective to, like an ability you need to hone. I think that's like a better way, I think.
And it's like, I don't know, consistency I feel like has been like a big word for like us specifically, like with what we're trying to achieve with like content or, I don't know, just media in general. But like, you're not gonna feel it every single day. Like there's days where like, somebody cuts me off and I'm like, I'm glad I have my truck, but like I'm still pissed and I like don't really feel it. But then if I like take a step back and I'm like, all right, well, I'm not feeling it today, so I'm just gonna stop doing it. Then like, then you start lacking that consistency, and then you're not gonna notice the benefits of it. So you have to be consistent in it, and like in everything you do. But I mean, we're human. We're gonna have our off days. We're not gonna be perfect. Nobody's perfect, right? So it's like, I think it's good to be our own biggest critic because like I think that's how you get better. But like, yeah, give yourself.
I'm my biggest critic.
Yeah, and I think you should be.
I'm the hardest on myself. Like I tell people that all the time. Even when I'm training my staff. Yeah. I'm like, when I'm correcting you, so it gets them to understand me more, right? Because sometimes when you only hear the criticism, it's easy to take it out of context, right? Yeah. But like, I'm like, trust me, everything I'm telling you, right? Honestly, my sisters are probably a better example. Anything I'm telling you guys, they're younger than me. I'm like, just trust that I told myself this 1,000 times. Yeah. Like if I'm frustrated because you're not applying some of the things that I know if you applied would positively affect your life, just trust me that I got way more mad at myself for not applying it to myself at an earlier time frame as well. And it kind of gives them an insight, like, oh, okay, it's like, okay, yeah, I see that. Damn, I can only imagine. Like, it's a slightly different perspective they were not forced to think of, and then it kind of opened their mind a little bit, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, cool. And it just gives them an idea, like, damn, he really is. He's not just hard on everyone else, and he just does whatever he wants. It's like, no, trust me, dude. I've been able to get where I'm at strictly because of how hard I am. Sometimes I would argue that I'm too hard, and I think there's negatives to that. Yeah. I think, but I'm on that extreme end. If I were to describe myself, I'm on the balance it out because you're getting closer to too hard on yourself. Yeah. Some people have the other extreme end where like, dude, you don't care about anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? Everything is like free ball, and you're too carefree. Like, sure, you're never stressed. That's amazing. You don't get wrinkles, maybe, but like, I think you're too free balling, right? So I think there's a balance. I think I'm on the other extreme end where I'm like a little too hard and I have to catch myself sometimes.
Yeah. I like how you say that because I think for me something that has kind of because that I hold myself to a very high standard as well, and for a lot of the time I was kind of on that extreme end of like, oh, this isn't happening how I want it to, so why am I even gonna like try to give it like my best swing if it's not gonna come out how I want it to? It's like, I think what's helped me learn the balance more is there's the dream, and if that happens in the way that you want it to, and it happens in such a perfect way that you want it to, awesome. Yeah. But there's also like a baseline. If you just hit that baseline, everything after that is like the bonus, right? Right. That's everything that piles on to be like, oh, okay, we made it to the dream somehow. Right. But like, even for, because there's a lot of things, especially owning a business, it's like, what are the non-negotiables that you have to have a baseline for that need to be done? Those are the things that need to be done. And then anything beyond that, you do kind of got to give yourself some grace, because if you get that baseline done, anything that comes after that is just a bonus. So like just the non-negotiables of these are the things that need to happen with this baseline. Anything that comes after that is the bonus. Obviously you could have the vision, you could have the dream, but just understand that it's like, we may not get there, but that's okay. Because we're still getting there in other contexts.
That's true. It's okay. We're gonna die trying.
Exactly.
And we're okay with that. If it never happens, it's fine. But I'm gonna keep living every day towards those goals. Yep. And it's okay if it doesn't happen when I want it to be. It's genuinely okay. I'm really more. I actually believe that more now, and it's growingly believing that too. Like I used to not. Right. It's like, no, I don't care. Like and it's because I was hard on myself, right? Like I've always been at an older, I guess, context or atmosphere than my age group. Mm-hmm. Like when I was 17 years old, I was management of a jewelry store. I've worked in Sedona, Arizona. I've worked in Santa Fe. Like I've always been in just older, usually people who are in those contexts are at an older age. Yep. So because of that, subconsciously, it's affected my opinion of what should be and what isn't, because some people will look at me and will be like, wow, like, you know, you got X amount of money, you're only 16. And I'm like, yeah, it's more than like the average 16-year-old, but I'm just comparing me to me. I don't need to, I never like found like comfort into comparing myself to something lesser than to make me feel better than because of what I'm at. Like I never liked doing that. I didn't care. I'm like, you know what I mean? Because, you know, someone with a car could look at someone without a car and be like, well, you know, it's like, well, that's good. From a humbling point of view, you got to be that for sure. But what I'm talking about specifically is more of like, not as there's humble, and then there's an excuse to justify your current situation and not growing from it. And I think some people kind of confuse the two. Mm-hmm. And it's okay if we're not there, because it could have been It's like, well, yeah, still, but I need to still, you know what I mean? Like, are you using that to just make you feel more stress-free while putting in the work? Or are you using that to not put in any work? Because it could always be worse.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
exactly.
I think the distinction there, but.
And I think that's why it's so important to hold yourself to such a standard, right? Because if your standard is, that baseline is mediocre, and it's like, okay, that's what the baseline, that's the foundation you're setting that on is mediocrity. But if you set yourself to a good standard, then what's after that? Great.
Right.
You know, so like you have to at least hold yourself to a good standard if you're really trying to build something special.
That's
so
true.
that way anything after that comes great. So I think it's like just setting that foundation and that standard in your own mind of what's your dream, what are you passionate about, what do you want to chase, and what is the baseline to get you to that standard and anything beyond that.
That's true. That's true. Hopefully people can adopt their own baselines and keep updating it.
Exactly.
Yeah, keep updating it. You know what I mean?
You gotta evolve with it constantly.
Yeah.
We talk about that.
When it comes to dreams, this is like a little bit of a different topic. When it comes to dreams and like pursuing like a goal, I don't know if it's just me, if like anyone else feels this way. Do you guys like ever get afraid that like you're gonna reach that, and then like once you've reached it, you're like what do I do now? Like I reached what I thought was gonna fulfill me, and like it's cool in the moment, but like I don't know, maybe a month later, you don't feel the same way when you first achieved it. Like, obviously, like I think for me, like, yeah, I'm gonna probably set new goals and try and scale it to the next level. But like, is there ever a moment where you're gonna be like, yeah, like I'm fulfilled, or is it like you feel like a constant pursuit of like trying to grow more, be better?
I'm constant.
Yeah.
Bad. It's bad. It's actually so. I seen a therapist for this specific issue.
Really?
Yeah, I did, and that's because what's nice about me is I'm very aware. So even my own like potential negatives, right? That I say this because some things you might not view it as a negative now. It could be down the line if it escalates or grows in that path, right? Yeah. But I'm very aware of them, and that's one of them for me. Is that I think about this a lot. I don't know if it'll be enough.
Yeah.
And the only bright side is my goals are so big that I'm so far away.
Yeah.
So like, you know what I mean? But even though they're so big, my goals, I still think there's a good chance if I ever get to them, however big they are, I do think that might be an issue. And that's what I was trying to start anticipating it now. Because I'm like, me judging myself, I feel like I'm nothing. Like compared to what my goals are, you know what I mean? I really feel like I'm far away. I'm barely like straight. I got the crumbs of something. You know what I mean? Like there's potential, but in my own opinion of myself, I feel like I'm very far away.
And I think we're all in that same boat.
Yeah. I feel like I'm very far away. And then, you know, a lot of people were like, well, you know, you got this, it's this, you know, the comparison statements again and all that, which again are not true. They're good stuff, and it's things to be considered for sure. But I do think though that like I have a tendency to, I don't know if there ever is enough.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always seeking that next thing. I feel like I always say this, actually I repeated this a lot of times in my life. If you ask me the question like what is life to you? It sounds like a deep question. I have a simple answer. Like I already have an answer. And to me life is just one long struggle. That's what I do. I feel like you're just picking your struggle. That's what it is. If you want to do a path in videography, photography, art stuff, you want to be a musician, you want to open a business, you want to go to school, you want to be a doctor, it doesn't matter what it is. You want to be, I mean, even like characteristics, you want to be lazy or fully active. I think both are still struggles. You're just picking your struggle. I think we could go into what's a right or wrong and all that stuff, but on the end of the day, that's just like, life is literally one long struggle, and I don't know if because I view it that way, it might correlate to the other side of me where I don't know if anything's enough because that's what life is. It doesn't end. It's just you're constantly going. Like I don't even, you know what I mean? It's just one long struggle, and you're picking your struggle through it all.
It's funny because we said that in our last episode. At the very end, we were like, life is hard, so just like pick your heart.
Pick your heart.
You could like have no goals and not strive for anything, and life's gonna be hard.
That's gonna be tough.
Or you can try and become better every single day, and it's gonna be hard, but like you'll probably be more satisfied with the one who actually works for something worthwhile.
Yeah.
So, what about you? Do you feel like
for me? Okay, for my current self, we've kind of talked about things similar to this.
Yeah.
But it's funny because recently I've kind of made like a little diagram in my brain.
Oh shoot!
So it's like
you went on it. Yeah.
So it's like faith,
yeah,
self-purpose, and then there's 3 pillars that fall from that purpose. There's whatever you do for work, whatever you're trying to fulfill in your purpose through the work, what you're passionate about, what you love. Then there's the other pillar of being a good husband one day, being the best husband you could, and fulfilling your purpose through being a husband. And then there's the other one of being a father and fulfilling your purpose through being the greatest father you could possibly be. And so in my current self, that is it right there. Those are the 3 purposes that I know I am trying to fulfill at the highest level I could possibly fulfill someday, but it's all stemmed through my faith, and that's what's going to guide me through and keep me going.
I love it.
I said something to Kino. Kino's my best friend. He's awesome. Love Kino. We stayed up super late, like on Saturday night after the last event that we had.
Nice.
And I said something to him because he's also big in his faith. So like I don't know where everyone's at, but like for me, it's like this life is only the beginning.
Right.
And like I truly believe that in the sense of like this life is just the beginning for what's to come and what's forever for me, right? So that's like afterlife, whatever that's supposed to look like. You know what I mean? So like this whole life is just a test of you trying to like really sustain and fulfill your purpose. So that way when you pass over, you already did it to such a level. Maybe I don't know if there's levels of angels, bro. I don't know if there's levels of whatever.
Yeah.
But like I definitely think it's like you have to identify, are you a leader? Are you just someone who is a role player? You have to identify those core things about yourself. And I know for us 3, it sounds like we are leaders.
Right.
You know what I mean? We are put in places where we're meant to have such an impact beyond us and not just kind of like fit into what everyone else is doing, you know? And I think that for me is fulfilling my purpose in the highest level I could possibly do it in those 3 areas. This is only the beginning, and whatever is after that is forever.
Yeah.
So that's like
Dang,
where I'm
bro.
at.
Thanks for showing us your brain. That was crazy.
Yeah, the diagrams and everything.
You're also really good at talking with your hands. Yeah.
I tend to do that too sometimes.
Always,
I tend to do that too.
Always,
It's the
bro.
Arabic in me, bro. All of a sudden I got crazy, and then I
I
just
feel
have
like I'm like sitting here like this, and this boy's drawing diagrams with his fingers. Like, no, that's super cool.
No, that really was good. Yeah. No, that's what's up. I love how you have faith at number 1, because most people, I think, especially modern day, it's just like a second. It's like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Especially like our generations, and then everyone who's even younger than us. Because it's not the same. You know, back in the day with less distractions, it's something has to fill those gaps.
Exactly.
And now there's a lot of filling. Like, you know what I mean? You could fill it with 1,000 different things. You only had 100 options to fill it with, and faith was one of them. And then now it's still there as an option, but amongst so many other ones.
Exactly.
So I think that's really cool. You don't really see much people, because how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
27. Shoot, I just turned 27.
Yeah, it's uncle status, bro. We got uncles on the table
Late
here.
20s, bro.
I know, I feel you. I'm 27 as well.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
27,
Oh
man.
yeah. All right.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
also 27.
27, that's we're all 27. Yeah, I'm November,
August.
August,
October.
October. Oh wow, yeah. We're like
So
almost
we're
back
like,
to back.
Yeah, we're like lined up.
Yeah,
I'm
damn.
the youngin. I just
Turned 27. Yeah.
I gotta get used to saying.
Bro,
That's
I know we're
crazy.
approaching 30.
No, so you turned 28 in October.
Yeah.
Oh wow, so you're older than me by a month.
Yeah.
October what again?
16th.
Oh yeah, literally a month. I'm 17.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's your 30
Yeah.
days. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
crazy.
crazy.
We're a month apart.
It's weird too, cause like not in a bad way, like not like I thought I was gonna die or anything, but I just never like really imagined like getting this old.
Bro,
like
I
It's not that old though.
no, I know.
He's
It's
like,
not
yeah,
that
we
old.
made it, guys.
But like,
it's not 27.
just for me, like elementary school, middle school, high school, like you just don't really like think like I guess like for me like I was never like, oh, I'm gonna be 30 someday. Like I just
Yeah.
like oh like I'm 12, bro. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna go hang out with my friends and play Call of Duty.
No,
Bro,
that's so
for,
true.
For me, it was always I can never see what I would look like at like
Oh,
late
yeah.
20s, early
Yeah.
30s. You know what I mean? And so I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it there, bro.
Yeah.
But then it was like, now that I'm
Shoot.
here, it's like, bro, I
I
still
guess
look
that's
like I'm
what
like 19, bro.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
get told I look like I'm 19 or freaking like
No
20.
way.
You do look
21, bro.
young. You look
So,
young.
yeah.
If you told me you just turned 24, I would have been like, oh, nice. And I would have been, what about you? You know what I mean? I would have said that as my reaction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now I feel like I'm starting to just look my age.
Yeah.
But when I was like 21, 20, I had a beard still. You know what I mean? So like when I was 20, I looked 24, 25. And then when I was 22, I looked 25, 26. But now I'm like literally 27. I look 27. I just feel like now I match the age. But there was a while, especially when I was in jewelry, I was behind a counter, I'm dressed formally, I'm selling items that like any random thing, a ring could be like $8,000. So like the context made me feel older as well.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I just looked older, but now I think I just kind of match how I look. At least hopefully like, it's got 35.
I don't know about me, honestly, because I'm starting to get gray hairs, bro. I like look at my hair, and then at one point, like I ripped a couple of them out, and then I like looked it up, and it was like, don't do that because you can ruin your hair follicles, and then you'll start like balding. And I was like, all right, well, I don't want that either.
My worst nightmare.
Yeah.
To go bald, bro.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I probably look my age. I don't know.
I think you definitely.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? Definitely.
No, definitely. No, if you told me anywhere from 24 to 28, I would take those ages.
See, but I feel like I'm like, bro, I feel like so much younger. I feel like I'm like 21, 22. Like,
Same.
I just feel like, not from like an immature standpoint, just like
the kid in you.
Yeah.
Time goes by fast.
Bro.
Like next thing you know, like I remember at 21 thinking I was old. Now I feel like I meet 21-year-olds and I'm like, oh yeah.
I'm like, you're a baby,
bro. How's your day? You know what I mean? Like,
my sister just graduated high school, bro, and she just moved on to UNM's campus, and she's 19, bro. And I'll get like snap memories from like 8 years ago, back when we were in college, you know. And then I'm like, bro, we did look young. Like you don't really realize how young you look, and so like you start reflecting back on it, and then I see my sister and all her little homies, bro, and I'm like, they look young, bro.
Look young,
so I guess maybe at that age, people that looked how we do now at our age, maybe we thought the same thing, like, oh yeah, they're like mid-20s, late 20s, like it's nuts though.
I will say one thing, like I feel like as I get older, like I do appreciate like getting older now compared to like, bro, when I was like 21, cool, I'm 21, let's go. And then like 22, 23, 24 hit, and like I honestly like didn't really enjoy it. I was just like I don't like the fact that I'm getting older. And so like I didn't like my birthdays, I didn't like celebrating birthdays. But like now it's like, like let's celebrate. Like it's another year of life. Like not everybody gets this. There's people that are not gonna wake up tomorrow, bro. So it's like like
I'm still coming around to that thought.
Yeah.
So I know that's the right way of thinking.
Yeah.
I also know I don't think that way. Like it's bad, bro. I hate all my birthdays.
Yeah,
and it goes back to everything we've been saying.
Yeah.
Because I'm hard on myself and like literally it attaches. All of this is just an example of that perspective that we were explaining that carry sometimes. Because when my birthdays come around, I'm like, damn, I didn't do enough yet.
I'm the same way, bro.
Like,
I'm the same way.
Like,
bro, people had to convince me to not work or like work from home on my birthday this year.
Oh, really?
Because it was on a Monday, and I was just like, because every single year, bro, I always end up doing something, but it's like, I don't want to do anything. It's like, and now, dude, it was like, bro, I just want to chill. Like, if I could just have the day to chill, awesome. But even then, it was like, bro, that's like, I already know I'm going to be thinking about everything I need to do, and it's like, oh man. But I ended up just making sure that I just took time to relax, bro, chill, and because it's like you don't get this every year, you know. It is a big deal. It is a big day, bro. And it's like,
and like I agree. It's like I feel like this like lack of accomplishment by like you know I'm gonna be 28. I'm like, all right, I'm almost 30, and like I thought I was gonna be X, Y, and Z by now. And I'm not. But then like I kind of like take a step back and I'm like, but I still have another opportunity. I can be great today. I can be great tomorrow.
It's okay.
And, And so it's like I am hard on myself, and I think I'm hard on myself in the right ways, but like I do give myself that ability to like appreciate, like, dude, you're still fighting, bro. Like I lost one of my buddies recently who's like he was 24, so it's like he doesn't like get that opportunity to like have another day. So that's one thing I tell myself every morning, and I tell like my girl, I'm like what are you grateful for? And like when she asks me, I'm like, I'm grateful I have another opportunity today. I'm grateful I have another day. And so it's like, getting old is weird. And like,
that's true.
I thought I was gonna have a family by now, but like I don't. But
I think I get caught up in the privilege that I sometimes forget to just pause and remember that stuff. And not everyone has an awesome friend like this guy to ask you those questions in the morning. She's like, what? I just woke up, bro. Yeah, but like, it makes you forced to think, right? Because if you're not forcing yourself to think that way, and you don't have someone to help you think that way, how do you think that way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's difficult, right? So you just basically, I don't think there's a clear answer to it. I just think it's just worth the thought. Like sometimes, because that's people's lives, right? Some people, if you're just born into a certain context and you weren't, depending on how you moved in life, never got exposed to the certain friends or the certain factors that force those type of thoughts, how do you get out of it? Because something has to fill the gap. You can't be thoughtless.
Yeah.
Your perspective is formed the day you're born. And then how you view things. Like right now, we all have birthdays. I view my birthday as a reminder that I didn't do enough. But your perspective on your birthday is a reminder that you get to live yet another day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we have the same thing that goes on for all of us. We both have birthdays, but our perspectives that have been shaped through our experiences are completely different on the same occasion, the birthday. Now other people are in the same context and they don't get challenged in a way, and they might stick with that slightly negative or maybe like handicap perspective. I say that in a way to like, some perspectives make you stay the same. Like you don't grow from it, and it's due to how you think about it.
Yeah.
I blurred the lines between being hard on myself and not feeling like I'm ever doing enough. The bright side is that I'm always doing things because I'm in a constant state of it's never enough. It's never enough. Like I'm constantly in that state. It's not the healthiest, right? And now that I'm older, enough time has gone by of thinking that negative way to finally be able to see some effects that might give. And don't wait, if you're watching this, don't wait until those effects happen. Try to learn from it. You know what I mean? If you don't have that friend to like force you to think this way, or a family member, or just any exposure, and this was the video you saw, you might have a harder time to change the perspective compared to people who have those friends and exposure. But it is just what your cards are dealt with. Just do it. Just try to get it done. It's all you can do. The alternative is worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude, and that, I don't know. I think this is why this is like so cool. Cause it's like, it's literally everyone's first time living life, bro. Like nobody has the blueprint. Like everyone's experience is going to be different. So it's like, you might feel that way about your birthdays. Maybe I feel the opposite, but like, cool. Like we're experiencing life differently. Like I don't think we're meant to experience it the same. And that's why like I like conversations like these. And it's like, yeah, dude, we have a camera right here and it's recording the whole thing. But it's like, this is like a genuine conversation. It's like, I don't know. It's just cool to like, sorry, now I'm just getting caught up in all like, like the good things about it. But like, I don't know, it's just like nice to like connect, bro, and like feel human and just like understand like that, like, oh, like maybe he doesn't understand my perspective because he's lived an entirely different life than I have. Like, I don't know.
No, it's definitely worth to consider, and that's what that was my point too. It's just like for those ones who their life set them up to where they're not exposed maybe to the challenging thought. Because even my difference of how we perceive birthdays, I'm not saying like my opinion on my perspective is actually I think is wrong. I think I need to have more of your perspective. I'm just calling out what my experiences have led me to think about my birthday, while also acknowledging how I don't want to continue thinking that way. There has to be an answer to where I could simultaneously work hard and don't take away from that, while still having a more positive outlook on how time goes by, aka your birthdays. So there has to be a balance there. I'm smart enough to at least know that there's an answer somewhere in that balance, and not just take my experiences and it's what I've been through, so this is how I think. Okay, that's true, but it doesn't mean you don't have to handicap yourself, bro, because you've been through some things that maybe the other person hasn't been through, but it's irrelevant. I think still it's worth the thought to just think about, could a change of perspective positively influence my future, and is it worth exploring? Just ask yourself those questions and then try to apply where you need to apply, whether that be new friends or different podcasts you watch, what you look up, how your algorithm is set up, just what you spend your time doing. Because no matter what, time's gonna go by, you'll spend it doing something, and those things will shape your perspectives, and you only have the power of what those things are. So just mess with what you can mess with the goal of positively influencing yourself.
Well said. Well said.
Put all that on a t-shirt.
I don't know. We're gonna need a couple. We're gonna need a onesie or something, bro. Because my words will go down. I talk a lot.
No, that's amazing, bro. That's amazing. I really think like I think through our individual journeys, it is so important to like just, I feel like the first step is asking yourself those questions. Then you're in it, and then it's like, okay, well, what's gonna stick and what's not? But then it's like we were talking about, you gotta constantly keep evolving and keep present with yourself, and it's never gonna stay the same unless you truly just sit there and don't do anything. But like, you have to keep present with your evolution and life that's happening before you to keep up with everything. And that's like step 2. And I feel like step 2 is kind of forever.
Yeah, don't go away, huh?
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't really go away, man, because like, I don't know, like I said, you kind of got to keep present, and every stage of life is going to be so different, but like, you have to also have the self-awareness to be able to understand. I don't know, for me right now, how I've talked with him, I've lived in my head a lot for a lot of years, and trying to get to the point where I'm at mentally to have such a strong foundation and the confidence that I have within myself to just be the person I am. And then after that, it's constantly been a battle of, okay, well, now I got here, now I just got to learn how to live and not think. You know what I mean? So then I started to live and not think as much. But now I'm learning now too, it's, you have to have a moment. You have to have some sort of me time to literally just sit there, ask yourself where you're at, where you're trying to go, are you on the right track, what needs to be better, and then continue from there. But like, I think it's there's very surface level things that happen in a day. Yes, you ask yourself, but there's such important questions on, is this still relevant to what I'm doing now? When I first asked myself these questions, maybe I got to let that go, and now I got to continue growing these other areas and these other things, because these are the things that are going to keep me going. So I think it's like, that's the challenge of identifying. You have to ask yourself those questions, identifying what foundation you're trying to build, but then also after that, living, experiencing, and then coming back to a place to keep you evolving and keeping yourself present.
Taking what you can from those experiences and applying it to whatever you're doing in your life.
Exactly. I don't know. I am very much the believer that the belief that everything has such a meaning in life. You know what I mean? That is just how I am. That's rooted in me.
That's one thing I love about AK, bro. Like, everything is just like always so deep. It's like so intentional. That's the cool thing, is like when he like talks to people, like if it's his first time talking to you, like he's talking to like get to know you. It's not like just to be like, oh hey, like what's up, man? Like I'm AK. Like he's like, tell me like everything about yourself. So like I know who you are. It's like,
no, that's cool. You don't meet people like that, man. You really don't. Like I don't know. Nowadays, do you guys ever notice that you more or less most of your experiences with, especially new people you haven't met, some people that you have met, but it's just superficial. And even from, you're also guilty of it too, of not just blaming the person I run into, but like it's regardless of the reasons why, it is superficial. You know, and like right now, I'll say 100 hi and byes before I'm like, hi, how are you? How's your day? Like literally though, what you do? You know what I mean? Like, and do I care? And like, am I acting like I do just to get it done with? And, sometimes you just see people and it's hi and bye. And it is what it is. But I think it's growing to be that way, and probably goes back to those options of distractions that nowadays maybe have.
I'm telling you, it's like when your parents would say like, it's that damn phone, it's the damn phone, bro. Like, I'm serious, bro. It's crazy. It's like, even when I'm working out at the gym, bro, it's like in between sets, like everyone's just like sitting on their phone scrolling.
That's crazy,
and it's
bro.
like, and like, don't get me wrong, like I noticed myself doing it too, bro. So like, I've had to like cut myself off. Like, even when I'm using the bathroom now, like at home, phone doesn't go in. I take a book instead. Right? And it's like, I think people are just like being programmed to be like less and less social, and like any free time they get, like it's gonna be spent like scrolling.
They're just docile. Or docile, or however you say that. But, they're just there. They exist. But they're not there. You know what I mean? Like, you're here, but you're not like really here. You're just like physically here. And you can see it, bro. I'll talk to people and they're just spaced out. And that's what I was kind of telling you earlier. Some of my hardship is just finding similar-minded people. But you could be completely doing different things. Like you have a career here, I have a career there. Our careers are not even similar. but we're the same in the sense of just like the drive, the hard work, the understanding of having a goal and trying to devote your days towards that goal. So the outline is the same, it's just towards different goals, but we both wake up, we both do the same things, we both try to work hard, we both try to better ourselves. And it's hard to find people who are doing that type of outline while also, you know, creating that time to not just be superficial, high and biased, to actually come across the way you seem to be coming across to people, you know, like, how are you, how's your day, how many siblings do you have, what's your favorite color, and I'll actually try to memorize it, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, you know, so that's really cool. You don't really see that often, man, and especially with what I do, because, you know, I'm at Crate Brulee, we're a service dessert shop, so all my combos are arguably superficial because it's just in and out customers. Some of them one-timers, never see again. A lot of times they'll come every couple months, I'll see the same face. And then we have our regulars, of course, too, that become less superficial the more they become regulars. But on average, though, there's a lot more. I sound like a robot sometimes during my days because I say the same sentences, like literally the same sentences. This is your first time? Oh, nice. We do Japanese-style crepes, and I give them a rundown, you know, all that stuff. And then, you know, your total's $9 and some cents. You can tap or insert here, flip the screen, we'll have it on 5. Like, I have it down. It's like a script. Like, it's literally the same thing. But you do that every day. Thank God we're pretty popular at Crate Brulee. So because of that, we see a lot of people. So, you know, I'll have 200 customers come in a day, and 190 of them were superficial, just in and out. Well, you know, I can't be weird and ask them, well, how's your day and all that stuff either. I'm just taking an order, right? So like, there's the context makes sense of why it's that way. But it's definitely because of what I do, I'm exposed to those type of convos even more than I would be just going about my day anyways. So it's it's nice. So that's why I was excited when you guys told me you want to do something like this. I'm like, yeah, I'm down. Because most of the time it's just me telling someone who, hey, Ahmad, I see you doing this. I see you have a business. I see you, you know, you post a lot, social media, all that stuff. They'll have like a question or two, you know, and I'm like, nice. And that's the only time I get to like be able to actually talk and feel like that person is genuinely like absorbing it, like looking at you, you know, like, oh yeah, thank you, you know. And I feel good because I feel like I'm genuinely helping. I don't feel like I'm just saying things and it's going in one ear out the other. It's coming from someone who requested the info. So the perspective is already more open-minded to what I'm about to tell them. And other than those moments, it's just you talking, someone may or may not be listening. They may or may not understand where you're coming from. They may or may not feel you or, you know, think much about it. It might just be to kill that amount of time it took you to stop talking. And then eventually you move on and nothing gained from that. They didn't take away anything. You don't even feel good because you don't feel like, oh, you just helped someone. No, you don't. You feel like, I actually feel more negative than, you don't even feel neutral. It feels almost negative knowing that you spent X amount of time, energy or whatever, and it just kind of was like, it ended up just being as equal as, hey, how's it going? Nice, have a good day, nice to see you. And you just forget, you don't even remember. Oh yeah, I ran into him the other day, huh? You don't even remember. You're just in and out, you know? Your mind just, especially if you're busy, you're not prioritizing it either, so it's even worse. But so it's nice coming across like, doing something like this, being able to talk about something with a degree of importance with people who also are bouncing off what you're saying as well, opposed to your normal interaction on an average day.
Heck bro.
Sucks sometimes.
No, thank you, bro. We're so grateful to have you, bro. We're so great to have you on. Like I was telling him, I was like, the moment you told me was kind of the moment we knew he was going to be the first one.
I'm not gonna lie, like a couple people like hit me up after the first episode. They're like, bro, get me on an episode. And I'm like, I love you. I was like, I kind of want Ahmad though. Like I don't know. I think just like your perspective of like mental health, or you know, from like a business owner's perspective. Someone that also does a lot of content. It's just, I don't know. It's like cool to hear. It's interesting to hear because I don't own a business. So it's like I don't know. I can only imagine like how much work goes into it, how much time, how much money, how many sleepless nights, how many call-outs you have to deal with. I'm not saying you get a lot of call-outs, but like I don't know, just like all the little things. Like I know it's a lot, and it's probably 24/7 for you. It's not like
it's 24/7. It is 24/7. Honestly, about the mental health, even physical health. There was times where, like you already know, I'm a fitness guy. I'm in the gym as much as I can be. I played sports growing up, so I've always had that around. So to have it get affected, I'm a very routineful guy. So when something happens that takes me out of routine, for all my routines. It doesn't matter what it is, right? Especially the fitness routine, which, especially when you're doing it for so long, you'll know that like it takes a long time to get to certain places in the fitness journey. So for it to get like thrown off because of whatever event, in this case it's good reasons, right? Like when I first opened Crate Relay, my whole schedule shifted. All my schedule for the 2, 3, 4 years before Crate Relay was not the same schedule the 1 to 2 years opening Crate Relay. I had to adjust to that. That adjustment is not easy. Man, some people never fully adjust to that new stuff. And when you don't adjust to it, you take a toll. And that toll comes in different ways, physically and mentally. And sometimes, and this happened to me, you're unaware of the toll as you're actually like going through it. You don't even recognize it to be that way during it. And a lot of people told me, because I worked every day. When we first opened Crate Relay, I opened every day. Now we close on Tuesdays. When we first opened Crate Relay, we opened every day, and I worked every day. I was so scared of the quality and service that I wanted it to be at a high level. And I did not want to take a chance to leave the shop and risk even 30 minutes for a customer to potentially have a bad experience because it wasn't executed the way I know it should have been executed. And that fear alone made me, I worked maybe 12 to 14 hour days every day for the first like year and 3 months. Before, yeah, literally every day. About a year in, we ended up doing Tuesdays off.
Yeah.
So I at least got that. But my off days became the days that I could actually do other things, like clean my house, like do laundry, like do things. Like it wasn't just, oh, I'm off so I get to chill. No, it was the opposite. I'm off so now I could do other responsibilities that doesn't involve physically being in Crate Relay.
Yeah.
And that is like, it takes a big toll. So a lot of people told me, you're gonna burn out, you're gonna burn out. Given I wasn't gonna burn out as early as some of those people. A lot of people like to put their own limitations on you, and you gotta be able to kind of bop and weave between that. You gotta take it with a grain of salt, like they say, right? Like, yeah, sure, eventually when you work so hard, you're gonna burn out, that's true. When could be different between that person and that person.
Yeah.
So some people, like, you know, they were like telling me that as if like 4 months in, I'm like, no, you would have gave yourself 5 days off by now if this was the opposite. But, you know, but I also took it the other extreme end. I was burnt out before I even recognized it. And it wasn't until my brother, who lives in Dubai, he hurt his back. He had to do back surgery. And I was forced to go out there and help him. And it forced me to get out my zone. Like, otherwise I would never have left. I wasn't on vacation. I just left because I had to go take care of him. Oh man, I went out there, and it wasn't even vacation. And even though it wasn't vacation, I realized how burnt out I was until I got there. And I wasn't doing anything fun. I'm literally taking care of my brother. There was times where I escaped his house for a little bit, went to the beach on my own for like an hour or two and come right back to him, right? And then there was times I went to the mall. He lived right next to it, so I just took those scooters.
Yeah.
And just doing the simplistic things ever. Not money costly or anything crazy. I didn't go buy anything all crazy or nothing. Just totally normal experience. Just that alone showed me how burnt out I was. I got so much joy, and I'm alone. I'm not with friends or anything. I'm just literally every Uber ride, every place I went to and walked to, I'm just alone. And I had an amazing time. And I never would have thought I would have if you told me before, like, hey, you're gonna go anywhere on your own. I don't want to go anywhere on my own. The flight alone was like 13-hour flight. I don't want to do that, you know. So like it was. I realized how burnt out I was when I was out there, and it redefined how I approach my off times now. I thought, no, the more work, the better. Off? What do you mean? I can't just chill? That Dubai trip and taking care of my brother literally showed me how important taking a break is and how it actually is gonna help you do more. I wasn't viewing it that way. I took it as if it was taking away from my more, but it was the opposite. And it took that forced like travel for me to realize that. And it just opened my eyes. I realized I'm more burnt out than I was being honest with myself. I need to give myself more breaks and just completely redefine what it means to give myself the break. I'm not slacking giving myself a break. I thought it was that way, right? And it was such like a wake-up call. And now, at least once in a year, I made, ever since that trip, I told myself, I'm gonna take a trip at least once a year. I don't care where. It could be cheap. It could be in the United States, outside, one way or another. It doesn't have to like come with a price or anything. Just don't work. Yeah. Just take a step out and just try to enjoy yourself. Like whether that be even playing video game, whatever it is, man. Just like I had I was so work. I completely lost touch of how it was affecting me. And a forced trip opened my eyes. Now I'm really considering my growth and success with that factored in. Take the break. So I realized that by not realizing it for a long time.
No, man, that's important because I think burnout also looks different for everybody too. You know what I mean? I think burnout, it's not really a universal thing, and I kind of had to learn that quick because I was like, okay, I've been burnt out before, but what does my burnout look like now?
Yeah.
And my burnout now looks like, bro, probably like 2 Fridays ago, I was going through it. Oh my gosh, bro, the amount of things I had going on was a little nuts, bro. And I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this one for an hour. Because I think it is also important when you are feeling frustrated, when you're feeling stressed. I think it is important to allow yourself to feel those feelings. Otherwise, you're just gonna throw them under the rug and you're not gonna allow yourself to truly deal with those feelings. You know what I mean? So I don't ever want to throw anything under the rug. I'm very much okay, if this is how I'm feeling, well, shit. I gotta sit in it, I gotta simmer in it until I don't have to anymore.
Yeah.
And so that time, it was an hour. And I was like, thank God. I was like, I just needed 1 hour to just go through it, feel it, really let myself get past it, and that was it.
Nice.
And I think that's very important to acknowledge because, like, there is times where it's like you don't want to get caught up in too much burnout, you know, because then it's like, okay, well, I'm enjoying this a little bit too much now, you know what I mean? But then I think it's also very important to identify, okay, this is the time that's needed, but it's also very important for me to feel this way. So that way, like I said, it's not underlying things that you are feeling, underlying emotions that are going to make you, or that are going to rise back to the surface, and then you're going to lash out on someone, or you're just going to have bad energy someday. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not easy to have good energy every day, but like that's why I think it's so important to feel those feelings. So that way, when you're just sitting alone with yourself, you feel that, you handle it, and then when you come back out into the world, it's like, okay, I don't even got to worry about that coming back out. You know what I mean? And obviously, there's times where you do get frustrated with people. There's things that happen. There's been a lot of times already I've had to bite my tongue. But then the patience kicks in. And then it's like, I'm just going to let this one play out. I'm going to let this one play out. We're going to be good, bro.
My sisters will call me out because they're my sisters, so they've seen all of me, right? And they'll be like, 2018 Ahmad would not have handled that the same way as 2026 Ahmad, you know? So I feel you, man. It's really cool. And when they tell me that, it makes me even want to continue the growth. Because it's like, oh yeah, because you forget, bro. You like, you know, when you see, like you said earlier about how you look younger and older, like you see an older picture and you're like, oh yeah, that same thing with mental growth. You don't recognize it in the moment. You'll see, something has to remind you, like, bro, you remember when you got so mad when this happened and you reacted this and that way, and then now this is like arguably way worse, but you seem maybe not chill, but like if that happened then, you would have been flipping the table, you would have been pulling your hair out, you would have been sogging a wall. I mean, I'm just saying stuff, but like, you know, you would have reacted worse. And then now you just kind of take it more appropriately.
Exactly.
You know, and then you don't recognize that you've even changed that way until you get reminded sometimes.
And that was honestly like the funny part. I'm glad that you said that. Like one of the very first things we said in episode 1 was like, your physical health, it's gonna deteriorate as you grow older. But like your mental health, I feel like you can get such ahead of if you really put the time in. And whatever that looks like you said, there's no blueprint to how far along you on or how far you are along on your own journey. But like to your standard, where you want to be mentally, I feel like I'm like 50 years old. I feel like I'm like 60
I'm an old head in my head, bro.
You know
I'm an old head, I'm abuelo, that's what I say. I'm abuelo, bro.
And like, bro, and it's like the constant thing with just like understanding that it's like, there's not really a time frame that you could put on your mental. Like, what the hell does a 27-year-old act like? What does that look like? We know what a teen acts like. We know what like an 11-year-old acts like. What does a 27-year-old act like? You know what I mean? And I think it's like I said, you can really get ahead a lot mentally to be able to build such a strong foundation within yourself, to have such a confidence in yourself that like you won't ever have to worry about these things if you really put the time in and work on it to make sure that it's like, I don't ever got to worry about these bad things coming to the surface, you know?
No, that's so true, honestly. I think the easiest thing for me that allowed me to do that was knowing or being okay and comfortable with doing it on my own, but not necessarily wanting to do it on my own, but being okay if that means that is the only option to do it. And because I remember coming out of high school, man, I was, I've always had different perspectives in my same age group because of my experiences. I've always been, like I skipped a grade when I started first grade at 5 years old. I was 16 years old as a senior. I got my first degree in college at 19, and then I finished my second degree at 21. I just added the second degree because I finished early, so I still had 2 more years of college, to technically be 4 years of college, and that's why I did that. So, and then the jewelry life and all that stuff, I've just had older context at younger ages. The problem, my friends who are my age don't have the same age mentally, right? And there's conflict there. So let's say I'm sophomore year of college, I'm learning about stocks and investing and health, and hey bro, you should eat this way. It's not a diet, all you have to do is it's a lifestyle. It's not like, I'm not saying cut out everything forever, but I think you need to put more conscious energy into like maybe sleeping a certain way, eating a certain way, investing a certain way, save money a certain way. Just start thinking about things you've never been forced to think of. The problem, when I'm saying that to my friends, the only people you want to say it to are people you care about, right? You're not going to stop somebody, hey, let me help you on things you need help on, right? It's not going to happen. So when your friends kind of don't really match that though, you get disappointed. And what ended up happening, especially with my friends growing up, I say the same things a lot. I end up getting frustrated and annoyed because I keep being forced to say the same things because they're not applying it. They get frustrated and annoyed because they keep hearing the same things and they just don't want to hear it. It comes across as pressure. Especially when I don't care right now, like, I'm just trying to chill, I'm just trying to hang out, I'm just trying to play a game, or I'm just trying, whatever you're trying to do is not what is listening to me. You don't want to listen right now. So the frustrations there of the different age of our mentality built like some conflict, and that's what pushed me into like, it would have been more comfortable to do some of these changes with my friends, but I think I'm gonna have to not wait on my friends to do it. And I think when I became okay, I wasn't okay with that at first. I genuinely wanted, it's so much better knowing that, like, just imagine going out to eat. It's always better with that one friend, right? Girlfriend, friend, whatever it is, it's just nice with the company. Does that mean you don't eat ever alone? No, but it's always nice. But now that mentality applied to everything else. Like if I have a beautiful new car, regardless of what it is, I want all my friends to have the same car, same color too. If it was up to me, I don't care. Like it would be nice, but it's like once you're constantly pushing out one side and it's just mismatched, they get like annoyed because you're saying the same thing, you're annoyed because you're saying the same thing, and it's just kind of not clicking. That pushed me into like being just okay with, I'm all on my own. And then I've lived so many years with that because I've experienced what I just said at an early age. So I'm going through that at 17, 18, 19, which is the 3-4 years after high school, trying to tell my friends after high school some of these changes. Didn't work out, blah, blah, blah. Then I grew to just love them for what they are, even if what they are isn't anything that I'm trying to be in those specific categories of life, fitness, money, health, whatever it is. Then it's okay because I still love them for who they are. I just became okay with that, disconnected, got older, more mature, applied it differently, became okay with doing it on my own, even if that's what it means. Because the other option is wait until someone does it with you so you're more comfortable to do it.
Exactly.
But I'm ready now though, you're not ready now. I just got to do it, I guess. Yeah. And then I finally pulled the plug. And I led with that mentality for so long. And tell them now okay with it. But now I'm literally alone, so I do everything alone. I don't pay relay alone. I do marketing alone. My ideas are alone. I'm still waiting for that one person to come in, help me out. But I'm okay if it never happens.
It's a hard pill to swallow. It's like you want the best for your friends, and you want them to like understand like the knowledge you have or that you're trying to gain, and like it doesn't come. It's like I've told my fiance this. I'm like they just don't get it, and she was like, yeah, his goals are different than yours, and like that's not a priority for him. And it's like as much as you want him to like learn it, know it, experience it with you, like it's not as focused. And it's like
it's tough,
it's like you want to experience it with them, and that's one thing I told myself with like traveling. I was like I wanted to travel with people, and then every time I asked someone like, oh, I can't swing it, bro, I can't swing it. And it's like I got to the point where I was like, all right, I'm not gonna let my friends be the reason why I don't see the world.
Right.
Thankfully, I met a girl who's now my fiance, and she travels with me, so it's like easy enough. But it's like, yeah, like it's okay to do things alone. I feel like you learn a lot about yourself.
Was there a struggle there though? Like at first you want to, once you come to the reality that I don't think this is gonna happen that way. Yeah. There's like a hurdle there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, I don't want to do things alone. Like I want to do stuff with people. Like I want to grow financially with my friends. And like, you know, you talk to them about it and they're like, oh yeah, man, like I talk to some of my friends and like I don't even mind outing them right here because like I know they're not gonna watch this, right? So it's like they're like you know, like, oh bro, like I see this in my life, like I feel it in my bones, bro. And they're like, yeah man, like I see it too. And then like they go home, bro, and like they just sit on their phone all day and I like look at them and I'm like, but you don't get it.
You don't get it.
Like, because if you got it, then like you'd be striving for it, right? So it's like, I don't know, it's hard. It's like you have to like eventually jump over that hurdle, but like sometimes it's like a little daunting because then it's like, all right, well I might have to do this up by myself. And like that's always harder than probably doing it with somebody. But
no, it's so true, and that's why I was telling you earlier. I really appreciated you guys inviting me because any opportunity I get nowadays to just try to meet people who again have that same outline, I go for it because I've already years have gone by with me being okay. I went through the hurdles of friends and being and wanting to them to understand or grow with me or went through them not doing it, went through the ups and downs, accepted. I went, okay, now years after that, now I've been doing what I started, years in of applying it to myself. Some of the outcomes is now I have my own business and we're growing and we got our second location that I haven't announced, but if you watch this video, you'll now know we have two locations coming, one that we have and the second one on the west side. Cool. So we've gotten here because of me being okay with all of those hurdles and kind of adjusting my mindset to just go with it on my own and not allowing the people I would wish for them to be there with me, but not allowing the fact that if they're not, I also won't try. But now since I've gone through those many years of doing that, any opportunity I could get to do something like this, I go for it. I'm just like, that's cool because I know they exist. I know people like you guys exist. I know I'm not alone. I feel alone. Most of my days are lonely in the sense of like mentally lonely. Obviously, I'm physically around so many people every day. But when it comes to like the end of the day, right, I'm in bed. It's really just, it's just alone. Like everything, I think of the 3,000 superficial things I went through and talked to, and you know what I mean? Like, and then it's just alone again. And I wake up with the same goals and same 100% effort to continue furthering my success. But so every time it just has an opportunity to kind of like find similar-minded people. Nowadays, I'm going for it. I'm in a gap alone, in that gap of time alone. So now I'm like, all right, let's find more people, bro. Where y'all at? Let's do stuff. Let's create things. Let's collaborate. Let's even if it's not something to post, let's just go out at an activity. Let's go. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like where we get something out of it. You know, it could even be as simple as just hanging out nowadays, which I hardly ever do now. You know, I really don't. If I do something fun, it's a vacation that I planned, and there's like an itinerary and everything. You know what I mean? And it's like a date and a location. It's never just like, hey, you want to go this? So those simpler things have now become not simple. With this thing we call life.
Absolutely, bro.
I think if there's anything you gather from it, it's like sometimes the lonely period or the lonely chapter is like where you find the most growth. So
it's true. Luckily, I've been lucky enough to. I've always had this kind of like, I don't know what to call it, like boss mentality maybe, but I don't know. That could be taken out of context, I guess. I guess you can take it differently. But I mean, I've always had that like.
Just leader.
I could do it, like, and I see just people as examples of why I think I could do it. Like, no way, I'd go to a new school or new class or a new activity, and I just see examples like if that guy could do it, if that girl could do it, like, why can't I? I've always led with that. It sounds kind of ignorant, but I genuinely believe that. I feel like anything is within my capabilities. And I'm not saying the first attempt I will do good at it. I just mean I'm capable enough to go through whatever is needed to learn it. Not to immediately be good at it from never doing it before, but I'm just capable enough to do what's needed to learn it. I think absolutely.
People are going to try and give you advice. People that are in a place that you'd never want to be.
Yeah.
Because they can't understand what it's like to actually strive for something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why like I refuse to listen to people that like aren't where I want to be. Like,
yeah, and they want to give you advice about
like you're trying to tell me how to make my videos, yet you've never even posted one.
You've never made a video.
You know, like I don't know. It's tough.
How to be rich from a homeless guy.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a book title right there.
That's basically what it is. You know, you have someone who have little to no knowledge, but they have the biggest and most intense opinions.
Yeah.
Like, where'd this come from? You know what I mean? I say this to my staff members. I'm like, we're all the same in the sense that we all have opinions, but there has to be a way to value opinions. Like a person who's never cut hair with an opinion on haircuts their opinion should not be valued as much as someone who has been cutting hair. You know what I mean? Not saying you can't have an opinion. Everyone has an opinion, and everyone should have an opinion. That's also really good. It's what you have the right to have.
It's also the responsibility of the listener, though.
The responsibility to listen?
Of the listener
to
not allow that to have such weight behind it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people can't identify that because people just hear things, and like you said, if you allow yourself to be influenced by something, then it's going to shape how you think. So I think that that's important to, as a listener, you have to have the awareness to understand, is this something that has weight behind it? Is this someone in this capacity that I should listen to? So I think it's up to, there's a responsibility on both sides. But I definitely think being the listener is also very important.
Yeah, I think it's probably even more important, honestly.
Exactly.
Most of my strong opinions came from me listening. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it starts there. I couldn't have done anything if it, honestly, at this point, my value for growth, or my, like how much I genuinely want to grow, is the key reason why I'll take advice from a 10-year-old. Worst case scenario, I don't listen to you.
Yeah.
I'll at least consider it, like let me hear you, right? Worst case scenario, I don't agree with you, I never apply it to myself. But the idea of just not even taking the chance to possibly learning something that could have helped me out, I can't not take that chance, right? So especially when at the core is growth. Mm-hmm. And anybody who has that, or unless they're lying to themselves, but anyone that has that at their core, I feel like will come with that open-mindedness to just hear it out.
Yeah.
Because that could have been something. It could have been the key thing you needed to hear or learn. Everything could be more streamlined after that. But you just decided to not even like consider it because you didn't have that at the core. Core is growth, and growth means doing anything to grow. And that sometimes means listening and hearing and being the listener on that end. So I think it's a very big responsibility.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was great.
What a way to freaking
that was
end
great,
it off,
bro.
Well, thanks for being the first official guest on Frame Theory, episode 4.
That's cool.
No, it was a pleasure, dude.
Thank you guys, man. No, for real. That's really enjoyable.
Spilled a lot of wisdom, a lot of sauce.
Got the sauce.
Yeah. Well, shoot, that's episode 4.
Episode 4, Frame Theory.
Frame Theory.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Until next time.